Yo guys, Phil here with BLP3 Motors, and we are back at it again. I got Jason here. We just left Landers Dodge in Norman, Oklahoma, guys. Great place. Before we get this video started today, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe if you're new, and make sure to check out Landers Dodge. You guys I'm gonna put the website link down in the description below. But guys, today we are going to be reviewing a 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee Trailhawk, right? Not Trackhawk, Trailhawk. And that baby is right there. So without further ado, we're gonna get to it. There it is, guys. Wow, that thing looks very cool. So here's a good front view. That's a really mean looking grille right there. And I love the fact that they did this little red outlining here. That's just very cool. It's got those tow hooks in the front. Okay. So we're doing a walk around here. I like the wheels. Let's see here. That looks good. Boom, that's important for all you Jeepers out there. So we got the red lettering on the trail. The trail on the Grand Cherokee. Boom, boom, boom. Let's do a walk around here. The black looks very sleek on this. I really like this. Okay, we got a tow hitch right there. We got dual exhaust. That just looks really sharp, man. All right, guys, over here, so we got leather on the door. That's a nice touch. Comment in here, we got leather. Boom, 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 and you got the Trailhawk right there, stitched in there. Here is the center console. There's, I believe that's an 8.4 touchscreen. Yep. Boom. Let's come around, show you guys the back. Got leather seats back there, and I believe they're heated back here as well. Boom. Looks very pretty. And we got a panoramic sunroof, moonroof. What's the difference between a sunroof and a moonroof?
Moonroof doesn't open.
Oh, well, this is a sunroof. And then you can tell back here, we got the speakers. Oh, and there's actually a sub in the back. I gotta show you this. Pop that baby open.
Ready?
Yeah.
You have the power open lift gate.
Power open lift gate. And then boom, sub right there. That's cool. So another really cool neat feature here is that that's just one button close. So you just press that baby. You back up like a big rig. I like that. And I actually like this badge right here. The more I'm looking at it, the more awesome it looks. But I want to show you guys the dash. All right, guys, so we're here inside the vehicle. I'm gonna turn it on real quick. So it's got a push button start. It's hiding behind here. Press that guy. Grand Cherokee, nice, nice. And so I just wanted to show you guys the instrument cluster here. Very cool, very minimalistic. I know that a lot of times, a lot of the dashes, they get really busy and sometimes you just don't know where to look, but I like how simple it is. But yet at the same time, it still looks like it's not low budget tech. So what's cool here too is that you can actually flip different menus here. That's kind of like the Rams. The Rams are kind of like that too. But yeah, love this. So in the center, we've got our, what is this?
Selectable driving mode.
Your selectable driving mode, so there you go. Those are the choices. Oh, look, we can do some mud in the city. And then here's the touchscreen, everything in action. So we got heated, cooled seats. So that's an awesome feature. Let's see here. Here's a look on what is it right above you. This is very cool. Spot for your sunglasses. And then let's pull this guy back. Boom. Ooh, look how big that is. That's freaking sick. I like that.
All right, so one thing that's really awesome about this Jeep, especially being trail rated, is if you're gonna take it out and be off-roading, you know what's going on. Know what's going on with your vehicle. It's really important to make sure you're not hurting anything, right? So what Jeep does is they give us this off-road app. So it's all about the vehicle right here. You have different selected pages here. So this one right here, we're in vehicle dynamics. It's gonna give you your steering angle in degrees. It's gonna tell you about your transfer case and what your active rear differential, what's going on with that. We flip right here to suspension. And we already talked about the 4-corner air suspension in this thing, so you got to know which mode you're in, right? Right. So when you're in the trail right here, it's going to give you what wheels inflated to what position right here. So right now we're in off-road 1, so it's going to let you know where we're at with your air suspension while you're hitting the trails. Another big thing when you're in the trails is where your pitch and roll as far as your yaw and G rate sensors. Right? Sometimes you get on these really hard downhills or just really heavy uphills, And I mean, let's face it, they're steep. So this is going to be all the information right here to tell you where you're at as far as your Jeep. It's important to keep an eye on your oil pressure, your trans temperature, your battery voltage, and definitely your coolant temp. Make sure everything's going to be, you know, safe while you're going down the trail. Make sure you're not, you know, hurting it too much or overheating something, because then you don't want to be stuck in the woods with a Jeep that's broken, right? So we got all our stuff right here to make sure that we're operating properly.
Awesome. And that's just your terrain there?
Yep, we have the selectable terrain.
I'll show you guys this kind of a better view. That's just freaking cool. That's probably one of my favorite features here too. You know, that just looks really cool. Looks really nice. I like that. Just there's a lot of attention to detail here. I just really like that. I don't know if I showed you guys this. Kind of just shows up and boom. You guys can take a look down there. That's a better shot. But yeah. So guys, real quick, I want to demonstrate the 4-corner air suspension system. We want to demo it for when you got to go around some crazy rocks or go around crazy things. You guys can change it. So yeah, go ahead and do it. Let's check it out. There you go. So it's lifting. That's freaking cool, man. Now, is that all the way or is it still going up? That's off-road 1. Let's do off-road 2. All right, and then we're gonna bring it down. Cool. So that's basically where it sits. And then we got a low rider setting. Alright guys, so we are inside the 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee Trailhawk. This thing is really cool. So we did the walk around the car. You kind of got to see the different ride suspensions and whatnot. So tell me a little more about that. I'm just going to go ahead and get going, but tell me more about the adjustable whateverness.
So we got the 4-corner air suspension on this vehicle.
That's what
we got different levels of suspension for us depending on what driving you're going to do. So of course we have a Jeep. So a lot of Jeep people, they like to take their vehicles off-roading. That's what Jeep is for, right?
What? They do that? Really?
Of course. So the Trailhawk gives you different options for fuel economy as well as your optimum performance off-road. So what the 4-corner air suspension does is it lets us be able to lower the vehicle, you know, for being able to get in and out in your daily driving per se, as well as when we want to go hit the trails or do some rock crawling or do whatever we want to do with this thing, we're be able to actually lift the vehicle off the ground so you get more of a ride height, more ground clearance, let's say.
That's freaking cool. So, I mean, a couple things right off the top. I love how everything looks very clean, everything looks very modern, everything looks very simple, but like a good kind of simple. We have the 3.5 Pentastar?
3.6 liter Pentastar V6.
I got to get my numbers right, but the 3.6, believe it or not, the gas pedal is very responsive. It's very touchy, and I like that. The car feels very sturdy. You know, one thing though is I would have loved to have seen a little more leather. There is a lot of leather in here on the steering wheel and on the door sills. It's very pretty, but I would have loved to have seen a little bit of leather like up on the dash. That would have been nice. But I guess it makes sense though if you do off-roading stuff, and leather will be really bad, especially if you're out in the sun a ton. But I really like this. One thing I really like too is I really love the panoramic sunroof. It's above us, and you know, it's interesting. I've never actually seen one so big.
Yeah, it's an awesome feature. People love it too. They get in here. I mean, you're a Jeep, and Jeep is about experience, you know?
Right.
You want to get out and experience nature. So, I mean, just giving you the option to roll that big panoramic window back and see the stars, whatever you're looking at, you know?
And so we've got the very familiar 8.4 touchscreen. Everything looks sharper, nicer. I believe this has the Apple CarPlay and the Android Auto.
Yes.
We have heated, ventilated seats, all that stuff. Everything's becoming more uniform with Dodge. Dodge is really stepping up. Hey, did the car just stop?
Yeah, so an awesome feature about this is the stop-start technology, right?
Okay.
So when you come to a complete stop, let's say you're sitting in traffic, you're at a stop sign or a long red light, right? It's actually, the vehicle's going to shut off.
Oh, it turned off, And now it turned on again. That's really cool.
Right, and a lot of people don't even notice because it's pretty seamless.
Right.
When the vehicle shuts off, you're still going to have your AC, you're still going to have your heat, you're still going to have your infotainment, so your radio and your music's still going to be going. What the cool thing about it is, though, you're not going to be wasting any gas. So it takes you from turning the key all the way back to accessory like in the old days.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to worry about that. The vehicle's actually going to do it for you. Now there is some parameters where if you have the, you know, the AC cranked all the way up and it's 100-something degrees like it is today, it'll kind of inhibit that, so it's not going to, you know, completely come to stop. But you're not going to waste your battery either, because the vehicle's going to know when it starts going dead and it's going to restart on you, so it's not going to leave you stranded.
So this has an eco mode as well, so you can save gas there, and it's got a sport mode too, right?
Yeah, and we're not even in sport mode right now, but so it's going to default automatically to eco mode.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and turn sport mode on. You're going to feel it change just a little bit.
I totally felt that. Actually, the steering wheel got a little stiffer.
Yep.
And then believe it or not, the gas pedal got more touchy.
I believe it.
It got way more touchy. Wow. So this actually feels way different. It feels like a different car all of a sudden. That's how drastic it is. Now, one thing I'm noticing here too, so we have the defrost on the mirrors as well. I see that. We have blind spot indicators on the mirrors, and so that's cool too. That's a cool feature here.
Yeah, we're gonna have all our standard safety features in this car. So blind spot monitoring actually is gonna help you even with your insurance bill. Okay. You know, so that's a good feature to have, not just for the convenience, but also for your insurance. They ask about that stuff.
And it actually really gets up to speed. You guys, I'm really liking the steering wheel. I love the leather feel to it, and it kind of has a little bit of a flat bottom on here too. Not like crazy flat, but just flatter. I like it.
A little sporty.
Yeah, and I like the paddle shifters. It has paddle shifters on it for when you're, you know, banging through gears on rocks. But this is really nice, really well equipped. So this is a 4x4, right?
It is 4x4. It's actually got a selectable transfer case, and it's got 4 different traction modes too. You got snow, you've got sand, you've got mud, and you've got rocks. You can actually change your settings to whatever traction that you're on to get the most optimized capability for whatever surface that you're on.
Wow.
Now we always keep it in auto, so that way it's going to kind of pick up wherever we're at. That's most people just leave it right there.
Yeah.
But as well as you got another thing, 4-wheel low.
Okay.
So you have your
like
selectable.
towing?
Yep. Well, for off-road than towing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's gonna have your 4 low feature, so you know you're not losing anything there.
So for all your tow people, I believe, so this comes with a tow hitch.
It does have a tow package
and I
on it.
believe it's 6,200 pounds is the
Towing capacity.
Towing capacity on that.
6,200 pounds.
And actually, this is a little bit of a heavier Jeep. It's like, I think it was 5,100 pounds curb weight.
Yep, comes around 5,100 pounds.
So it's very solid. It feels very solid. It feels very refined. That's just the best way to put it. Like, you know, sometimes you have these Jeeps that just feel very rugged. This feels very, very modern. Just very new, very modern. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't know that I was in a Jeep if it didn't say Jeep on the steering wheel.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's great. But like, so everything you love about a Jeep's in this Jeep, but then also it's just technology's really caught up with Dodge. Dodge, Jeep, Ram, all these guys, all their 2019 models have so much technology in them. They're not slacking on the technology game, and that's what's freaking awesome.
Yeah, you know, this company's come a long way since back in the day, you know, with just the regular old wheelies and stuff. They've come a long way. And it's something to be proud of too, because not only can you take this thing and you can go, you know, hit the trails or go to the river or do whatever you want to do, you can also go get your groceries, take your kids to school.
Right.
You know, they've really added a lot of luxury features to this car that just makes it awesome.
So there's actually a pretty big back trunk there. There's a subwoofer in there too.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that it's power. What do you actually call it? Power close, or?
It's got a one-touch close, and it's got a power lift gate, so it's a one-touch open too. So those days of having to have a bunch of groceries and open your big giant hatch and close your hatch, and those days are over, man. It's all seamless now. It's a one-touch button and it closes, and one touch and it opens. You want to hear another cool feature about this Jeep that a lot of people like to see is that, so we talked about that 4-corner air suspension in this car, right?
Right.
And how awesome that is, different levels of capability for the suspension.
Right.
So if you notice, we're sitting here on the highway right now. We're doing about 62, 63 miles an hour.
Right.
So we're all about fuel economy now today, right?
Right.
So another feature of this air suspension is that when you get out on the highway, it's automatically going to put you in what's called aero mode.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've noticed, but since we've been driving, the front actually came down and dipped a little bit lower now. So that's going to give you the best aerodynamics for the highway to save you even more on gas.
Interesting.
So it has an auto feature on it. Not only is that 4-corner air suspension important for your you know, off-road capabilities, but also being on the highway and maximizing your fuel economy too. It's pretty incredible.
So what is the right buyer for this type of car?
The right buyer for this Jeep, I would say, is somebody who really wants to, you know, have fun, but also have a daily driver, with somebody maybe with a family that wants to be able to have kind of an all-around equipped vehicle that can kind of do it all. You know, the people that don't want to go with the noisiness of a Wrangler per se, and something a little bit more upscale, that they can also take it out and have fun and maybe tow the bass boat or something and go out and actually enjoy
That's one
nature.
thing, you know what I did notice too, there's not a lot of road noise.
It's very quiet.
It's very, very quiet. I like that. I'm not sure if you guys can actually tell, but very, very little road noise. But all in all, dude, thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely.
Guys, again, if you're new, make sure to like this video, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to check out Jason at Landers Dodge in Norman, Oklahoma. They are an amazing car dealership. They have freaking awesome cars. They're used, new. They have everything that you want. If you want to buy a car, make sure you go there, talk to Jason.
Come see me.
Come see him. And mention BLP3 Motors for an instant hookup with this guy. He's going to treat you right, and he's going to give you the BLP loving package.
Absolutely.
But anyway, guys, appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will catch you guys on the next one.